as hurricane lane torments the Hawaiian Islands. The FCC's Public Safety and Homeland Security Bureau released its 2017 Atlantic Hurricane Season Impact Report. It's a move Commissioner Jessica Rosenworcel described as too little, too late. The Democrat was a vocal critic of the agency's response to Maria and other storms last year, calling for field hearings and a speedier look into what worked and didn't. The FCC did send personnel to assist in disaster and recovery, and commissioners, including CHMN Ajit and Rosenworcel, visited affected areas. Other efforts included the creation of a hurricane recovery task force, a preparedness workshop with government and consumer stakeholders, daily reports on the status of communications services, as well as advancing money from USF and temporarily easing some provisions of Lifeline and other programs in areas impacted by Maria. The report sums up the 2017 season as the most expensive in U.S. history, almost double the cost of the 2005 season that included Hurricane Katrina. Initial estimates are more than $200 billion in damages in the U.S. and its territories. Rosenworcel thanked the Bureau for its efforts, but added, "Let's not kid ourselves, releasing this report 85 days into the current hurricane season and as an historic storm gets closer to Hawaii's shores, is simply too little, too late." Instead of hosting field hearing and establishing an independent panel as the FCC did after Katrina and Sandy, we lumped together four of the most destructive storms in recent history into one 38-page report with a list of recommended, voluntary best practices for federal government partners, service providers, 911 call centers, and consumers. Rosenworcel continued in a statement that urged the FCC to make a greater effort to learn from disasters in a timely way. The Bureau's report found that U.S. mainland emergency call centers survived the storms relatively well, while Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands for 911 call centers were not fully functional for some time. It breaks down the storm's impacts on service, including cell site outages. During Hurricane Harvey, approximately 150 cable subs lacked service at some point from August-September 26. For Irma and Maria, wireless services were greatly impacted at its worst. 95.6% of cell sites were out of service in Puerto Rico. Throughout Irma, the number of cable system subscribers that suffered loss of service fluctuated widely, reaching a height of several million at one point throughout all affected areas, i.e., Florida, Puerto Rico, and the USVI. In the case of Maria, communications services were at a virtual standstill 4 weeks after the storm. Cable system and wireline phone service remained generally non-existent, owing mostly to the lack of power, the report said. On December 6, several weeks after landfall, the U.S. Virgin Islands had no operational television broadcasting, cable system, and wireline service, and only 2 AM and 2 FM radio stations were confirmed functioning. Observations from 2017 include that broadcasters lagged other communications sectors in reporting outages through the FCC's Disaster Information Reporting System directories, and that cable providers in Puerto Rico and the USVI didn't provide detailed info via the reporting system. As a result, the Bureau said it will deploy a vigorous outreach program targeted at providers to promote the value of directories participation. Other takeaways include disseminating more emergency info in non-English languages. Recommendations for service providers include coordinating with proper state and local authorities to help technicians gain access to restricted area and rigorous system maintenance.